We're on.
Hi, everyone. This is Ronnie Ann Ryan, love and dating coach for women. And I'm here today with my friend and fabulous guest, Moira from Wellness with Moira. She is a mindset cultivator. Welcome, Moira.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. I love doing these forecasts with you. It's so fun.
It is fun. It's great. So today we are talking about what's going to be happening, the love forecast for the month of September. We just had a new moon go by. We're approaching our first quarter, and you said you had something to share about the first quarter.
So we were just touching base with that. So at a new moon, it's a good time to get your intentions clear. And that so the new moon that we just had in August was an auspicious one. And August itself was a really important month about us getting clear. So for your dating group of people to get clear on what it is they're looking for, to get clear on who they are, who they want to be, who they want to attract. This is so we've kind of come through that energy, and then the first quarter, which is happening in 2 days' time on September 5th, it's starting to crystallize. So the intentions that you've been setting, the desires, the wishes, they're going to start popping up for you, showing up. So this is at first quarter phase of the moon. That's when we start to see the evidence of what we're asking for. So it's kind of a nice way to start the month, I think, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that sounds excellent. You know, I'm totally in agreement with you. I think it's really important when you're looking for love to know what you want. And I can't tell you how many women I talk to who really just aren't clear about that, and they figure they'll know when they see the guy or when they meet the guy, whatever. And honestly, I don't think that's a good method. I think it's much more important to spend the time to identify the kind of qualities and personality characteristics that you feel you'll respond to best and be most compatible with. And the reason is because sometimes you like a small aspect of somebody's personality, and that really captures your attention. But there are so many other things about the person that just don't work for you. But you manage to get attached prematurely without completely understanding who they are. And then you're like, great. So I love this part of the person, but all of this stuff comes with it, you know? And so that's what ends up happening with people who do serial dating, where they just focus on one person right from the word go and get to know that person deeply. Then it doesn't work out. Then they have to start all over again. So I think it's really important. Identify what you're looking for. Take the time to get clear on what you want and what works for you, because then when you set an intention, you're so much more clear. Being clearer helps the universe and you figure out what's going to work and bring you opportunities, and to determine, are those opportunities for me, or should I wait a little longer?
That's really, really important advice to your people here, Ronnie. The thing that I'm just thinking of as you were saying that too is I think it's a really good thing for us to live in harmony with the seasons too. And so September, we're starting to come into autumn, and autumn is it's almost like a crystallizing, planting seeds type of time, right? So we've come out of summer having lots of fun and getting out there and maybe even doing a little bit of window shopping. Would I like this person, or would I like to do these kind of activities? But now it's time to get really clear on what it is you want to feel. So this is a good time for introspecting. Right. So September to me is, we're going to start putting a wee bit more layers on, but not shutting down who we are or what our intentions are. So and it might be a bit of a slower pace. So I love what you just said about getting clear on the attributes, all of the attributes, not just saying, okay, here's that one person, ticked one box.
Right.
That's not enough to go and say, okay, that's it. I'm don't need to look anymore, or don't need to create other relationships,
Right.
or connections, right?
Yes, absolutely. So, were you going to pick a card for us?
Yeah, I've been shuffling them just as I've kind of feeling into that. I was going to pick a tarot card to see what would support that energy of getting clear on what it is you really want. And so what's come up is actually the Five of Pentacles.
Look
And
at
so
that.
isn't that beautiful? And
Yeah.
so isn't this a really, I love that, so I really encourage you to understand that everything's of spiritual nature. And so this is like a shining the light. Do you see that? The imagery of there is like
Yeah.
shining the light on what is. So isn't that beautiful about and you know, it's Pentacles too. Is Pentacles is to do with you know, law of attraction and manifesting what you truly want, but also what's physically here. So when we set our intentions, it's also really important to say, what do I have? Because when we keep saying, well, I want this and I want this and I want this and I want this, we forget sometimes that remember to say, I want these things, but I love what I have right here.
Mm.
So even when you're dating and looking for that right person or that best fit, celebrate what you have, because you're not in a sense of lack. You don't want to be coming from a sense of lack. And that's that to me, the Five of Pentacles is a little reminder to you to come from a sense of, look at the amazing things that I have going for me.
Well, and that's really about gratitude. I mean, that's what you're talking about is when you're looking at what is good in your life, then you're in a place of gratitude. And we all know how magnetic and attractive someone who is gratitude, full of gratefulness for what they have and what is going well. That's just such a magnetic pull. It's very attractive. You know,
Very much so.
yeah, someone who is happy for what they have and who they are is always going to meet more people. And so you cannot lose when you're spending time in gratitude. Very, very true.
Yeah.
You know, while you were doing that, I pulled a card too, and this is so exciting. So I pulled this constellation,
Nice.
and this is from my deck called Elemental Wisdom. And the constellation, to me, when somebody asks a love question and they get constellation, to me, it really talks about how it's in the stars. How, like, yeah, things are just lining up right now. And September is a really good month for love. So, you know, the whole reason we're here is to talk about the love forecast. What does September look like in terms of finding love? And I would say it's starting to stack up to be pretty positive month.
I would say so too. Yeah, for sure. Positive month. But you know, the other thing that just occurred to me as you were talking there is that, remember, we've talked before in previous love forecasts about the energy of 2019 being a 3 energy.
Yeah.
Right. So it's because 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9 is 12, and then 1 plus 2 is 3. So the 3 energy is very much, you know, I said that the Five of Pentacles is saying that everything's spiritual, and right now we're shining the light on what we do want, having gratitude. But we have 4 months left now of 2019. So like you just said, this is a beautiful time to attract what it is you really want in this auspicious 2019 energy year.
Yeah, and when I think of 3, I think of flow.
Yes.
And so this is a great time if you're in the flow of dating and mingling, meeting people and flirting, all the better to help you find a compatible match, right? And that's what we're talking about. So it seems like this is a pretty good month to get out there and find love and meet some people, and let's see what happens. You know, it's and it's not as hot either, so you don't have to like, oh, it's not sticky and humid right now. So depending on where you live, I guess, you know. So did you have another card you wanted to pull?
I did. I just pulled one more card, and this is from my Soulful Woman card, because I love pulling these. These have a lot to do with attracting and self-worth. And so what's come up actually is true worth. So this is a beautiful fit with the card, the tarot card that I pulled, as well as your constellation. And these cards give us an affirmation. So true worth, the affirmation is, my true worth is intrinsic and shines from my inner being like a sacred jewel of love and compassion. Isn't that perfect? Like, we couldn't have picked these better.
That is really beautiful. And I think that's another thing that makes a tremendous difference, is really knowing your self-worth, so that you don't put up with poor treatment or anything less in the relationship that you deserve. Because, so many women write to me about, I really love him, but he pulled away, or he did this, or he hurt my feelings, or he's not available, he doesn't have time, he's busy with work, whatever it is. I think a lot of these things are signals that the man is not as interested as you want. And every woman who knows her self-worth and is grateful for her life knows that she deserves to be well treated.
Absolutely.
And,
So it's to not settle is basically what you're saying,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yes, absolutely. Not settle. Like, I'm not saying you should be so picky that no one will do.
Yeah.
But I also think, it's really important that you get treated with the respect you deserve, and that you find a man who cherishes you.
Yeah.
Because, if you're in it for the long haul, you really need to respect each other in order to keep that going. Yeah.
That is crucial. Absolutely.
Knowing your self-worth makes it that much clearer for you to know how you want to be treated. And I'm hoping that you get the best treatment possible, of course. You deserve the best. And that you stand up for yourself if things are not working the way you want them to. Because speaking up is very much a part of having strong self-worth.
Strong self-worth, and then always remembering that we teach people how to treat us.
Right? Absolutely. You set the precedent for how you want to be treated right from the word go. Yes, absolutely. From the moment you say hello, you are setting up the systems and the patterns of your relationship. And I talk about that all the time with women, that it's so important that they realize, don't chase men, because you're going to be chasing them throughout the relationship. Yeah. And you want a man who wants to be with you. Now, the other thing about September is, I was just reading how the new moon in September, which will be all the way at the end of September on the 28th.
28th, yeah.
Yeah, is really amazing. And it'll be in Libra, and it says this brings love, enjoyment, and good fortune. And I have to say, yet another reason why this is an amazing love forecast month, right? September is really looking good. So that is very fortuitous. And I think, starting from, the word go, all of September is really aligning with the stars, with the constellation, with self-worth. This is a good month. So if you're not out there meeting men, get busy, girlfriend, right?
Absolutely. And have fun. Make it fun. Make it self-love. You're coming from a place that you deserve it, right?
Yes. That is such a good point, because one of my clients just wrote to me, and she said, some guy wrote to her on a dating app, and he said, "Oh, you're cute." And she goes, "What am I supposed to say to that? I'm cute." He didn't even start a conversation. She was complaining because he complimented her and didn't give her anything to talk about. So I said, well, you could just take this more lightly. I can see you're mad because he didn't create the perfect conversation. But what if you just wrote back and said something flirty like, "Oh, I bet you say that to all the girls." Or, "Oh, you're so cute too." Why not just be lighthearted about it instead of getting aggravated about everything that people do? It's easy, to get aggravated, but it's so much better to be lighthearted and just have fun, as you suggested. So the more fun you can have with this and not get all, bound up by the things people do that don't meet your expectations. You don't have to put up with bad behavior, but you don't have to get your panties in a bunch either. That's what I would say.
Just let it go. If it's not for you, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just next.
Next.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That is some of the best advice about dating ever, Moira. Think, all right, well, who is next? And that's a very positive outlook. And we have a very positive month. So I, for one, am really excited about what can happen in September for all our listeners, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we will be back to check in October. We'll be back into the groove now.
That's right.
Wishing you a beautiful September, Ronnie.
You too, and wishing everyone love.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Moira.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.